his kids to deliver. He's always been real easy, laid back, calm, cool, collected, don't like to raise his voice, don't like confrontations. He just minds his own little business. I didn't know he was going to get into music until later, and I'm sure that my brother had something to do with that, or all of us being musically inclined. Jazz is what got him started. He said a group, Mississippi something, you'd have to ask him, but that's who really got him interested in the music area. This surprises me though, because I'm a heavy metal hard headbanger. And but I like all kinds of music. Country's not really my favorite, but the least one I listen to. But I know that Macy, he's a very gifted artist. He puts a lot of time and energy into stuff. He's very dedicated, and he is also dependable. You know, he makes sure that he gets the job done. He doesn't slack. He if he's going to give 100, he's going to give 100.
I'm Macy, Marathi's grandmother, and I raised him for most of his life. And he's always been interested in music because, as he said earlier, his uncle, Tony Mosier, Anthony Brian Mosier, is my son. And Tony started playing taking lessons with an acoustic guitar when he was about 7 years old. And took lessons for about a year. And his teacher told me that I didn't have to give him any more lessons because he was playing the ear. And he just kept begging for electric guitar, and I got him his first electric guitar. It was a cheap one, but it was a good one. I believe a Gibson. Is that
a Morrison.
Yeah. It was. I got it at a good price. Yeah. And then on his 18th birthday, I bought Tony a new Gibson, which is quite a bit of money. But that influenced.
Yeah. The tune your guitar had little options where you can open it up and rotate it, like those little plastic pieces that you can sit on there and rotate your thing to tune it real quick. It was already good.
Yeah. But it started with Tony, my son, and my mother used to play the mouth harp when she was a little girl. And I am not musically inclined, but I love music, and I love church music, and I love rock and roll, and I love all the music that Tony played and that Macy plays. My daughter, first of all, is very talented. She was when she was younger. And my granddaughter, Madison, his almost 18-year-old sister, can play just about anything she picks up. But she's not that interested in it right now. But they're good kids, and they were raised in a Christian home. And that's the base. That's the base right there, that Christian home.
Hawk as a person, he's a great guy, man. I'm glad that I met him. He's there for you when you need him. Musically, he's got the same passion as I want to, or I have. He wants to go to the top and be able to express his music and, help people become happier and get out of that depression stage. And overall, man, I'm glad that I did meet him, because he's been here for 3 years, like I said, and he's gonna still be here. Is from what I've seen, he's a great brother, and I would like to further my music with him. So we both have that connection, and we'll be like, yeah, man, we made it. We freaking made it, I've been playing since I was 16. I started out with my cousin Brian, but it ended up to where he couldn't stay sober long enough, so I started playing with Hawk and them. And it's been 3 years actually playing with Hawk, and I mean, for the love of the music that for the love of music, he has it just like I would, and we just kind of like to play.
See, whenever I got introduced to it, I was told it was going to be stuff like Sublime and, this like almost like a punk rock And I showed up in there and they were playing metal, and that was a whole new experience for me.
Yeah.
And I've been with them for 3 years, like Macy said, and I've just grown to love it.
My biggest influence was like my uncle Tony Mosier and my uncle Jason Mosier, and watching them play, and Jaded Heart, man. I just kind of fell in love with it, and I seen how the drums are going. I was still too young at the time to actually learn how to play, and didn't have the time. But after that, it come from my uncle and them to Mississippi Delta Community College, watching their jazz band play, and when I seen, which was one of the drum line, the bass drum for the drum line in Mississippi Delta Community College, was playing the drums for the jazz band, and when he started hashing out on it, man, that's when I fell in love. It's just the jazz and how the chops and the jazz work, man. That's where it comes from, really. That's really where I wanted to play, and that's when I had my grandma pay for a set for me to play.
I've been playing guitar for about 11 years, and my dad was one of my biggest influences. Whenever I was about 7, he used to play coffee houses, and he let me go on stage one time and sing the Ballad of Curtis Lowe by Leonard Skinner. And just that feeling that I got just being in front of people doing music, there was nothing like that, and that's when I decided that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah, and then, man, it's like, I want to be able to sit there and people enjoy it and feel how we feel, you know, somebody to connect, to help people through bad times, you know, kind of like the bands I listen to. Let's say A Day to Remember, man, a lot of their words have got me out of a lot of bad situation mentally, and it's made me stronger in a way. People in like depressing moods, they're being down, you know, try to lift them up with it, you know, let them know it's, you know, lyrical wise and musical wise, to let them know that life ain't always down. You have to be strong about it, and music brings that out.
Rock hard and live free.
Rock hard and live free. Religiously, I am Missionary Baptist, and it's like that's where my memorials come through, is ABA, and knowing that you're not alone, that Lord's there with you always. No matter how bad you are, there's always a way you can turn over. Mm-hmm. And He is there. Even it never said it was going to be easy. Anything it says it was never going to be easy. It's like the book of Job. I will say Job was probably one of the, other than Christ, was had everything taken from him. And when I go through a bad time, I look at that book and it's like, well, let's see. Job had his wife, his kids taken, all his cattle and everything. He become weak with disease, leprosy, and all that, and still would never denounce Christ. Never. And even his friends, your God is letting this happen to you. Why do you believe in Him so much? And he's like, it doesn't matter. He's just wondering. And he come back, 7 or 12-fold? Come back with twice as much as he had beforehand, because he never denounced, he never denied Christ. Never. And that I still live by that today. That's my morals, and even though you're having a hard time, just know it's never supposed to be easy, but know Lord's there to help you out, and through that storm will come greatness.
I've been playing music in church just about all my life, and pretty much the way I see it, He's got my back whenever it comes to music. If I'm looking for inspiration, then He plants inspiration. I mean, if I'm looking for a right riff or a certain lyric, then it just comes to me. And, you know, you can't really explain anything except for the fact that that is God working through me or you.
Yeah. To get to someone.
Musically, yeah.
Yeah, music. I think playing music and expressing the words through the words too, and maybe even some melodies through that guitar, or through the piano, might get like serotonin in your brain, because I like to meditate, I like to listen to them binaural beats, and if you listen to that long enough, it calms you out. I want the music to be calming to people, to help calm folks and make them happy, not be all like, oh man, I don't want to, And that's the way I was.
I used to be a really depressing person, and here up until recently, anytime I would start playing music, that was the only time I didn't feel depressed. Up until music took over my life, and I'm depression free.
Yeah, I'm telling you, as soon as like I feel bad, man, I pop in some good stuff. I start playing or something, or I'll get on the guitar and let it all out, and then I'm all right. I will say this. I think there's so much out there now that everybody's getting kind of flustered with how much is going on now, that everything's kind of starting to sound the same. The bands I listen to now, I like to listen to them, but if you start listening to them enough, it sounds like this song, or it sounds like that song. That's what I think about the music today, is that it's starting to sound all the same, and we need to change it. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of stuff out there now because, social media and all that, and people listening to this, oh, hey, this sounds right, we play this riff, but do it a different way, but it sounds the same. That's kind of why when I'm talking about genres, I don't necessarily want to categorize myself as in one genre. But I do play a lot of metal, and I do like that, but I would like to venture into some jazz and learn with like brushes and stuff. I just think music has more than just sounding the same, and I believe that somebody's on. But I want to make it sound different. Because, it's more to that, everybody's so flustered with it, and their writer's block. Everybody has a writer's block, and it's like sounding all the same. And I want to be that person to change that.
See, that's like most modern rock today. It really does sound the same.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to rock, there's that. And yeah, I'm all over the place when it comes to genres. Like, I love me some rap and hip hop, but the only thing is, newer rap, that mumble rap stuff, is terrible. It's like, I don't understand how that is considered music.
It is terrible. I will say that, I'm sorry, but it's terrible.
Indie music by itself, indie music is just about the only genre that constantly changes and doesn't sound the same.
Yeah, now like that old school, like Tupac, Biggie, Master P, Juvenile, all them, dude, that's where it's at. Twister, that's where it's at. I'm telling you right now. Man,
Rhymes.
Yeah, them too, man. Back in the day, man, that's where all the lyrics was. That's where the message was. Tupac was one of the biggest ones, honestly, though, because he was so, moral wise, he was real. He was a great, real person.
His music was about actual things.
Yeah, like, Dear Mama and all that, man. You can't beat that, and that's why it's still playing today, and it's still selling. This newer stuff is just kind of, it's it really is to me.